What's going on, guys? Ronin here, and welcome back to the channel. We got a lot to cover, but before we get into that, you guys know the drill. Take a look at these analytics button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and don't forget to drop a comment to feed the algorithm. But with all that being said, let's get into part 8 of What If I Wrote, the Pokemon anime. I hope you enjoy. We begin today's part exactly where we left off in the midst of the confrontation with Damien and Ash. Well, if it isn't last place Ash, let me guess by your reaction, you found Charmander, didn't you? Damien then breaks out in laughter. Wow. I thought it would take the hint, but I guess it's just as dense as it is weak. I can't believe Charmander really thought I would come back. Damien then laughs even harder than before, seemingly out of breath to make any more comments. While Damien and the group of trainers he's with sit smug at their table, this entire exchange has both Ash and Pikachu's blood boiling, causing the boy to go feral, lunging at Damien over the table. "How dare you," Ash yells. "Charmander nearly died because of what you did." Ash screams as he throws a punch at the neglectful trainer. This fist lands true, making Ash feel instantly better. However, things quickly escalate again when Damien's Primeape chooses to jump in, defending the honor of its trainer. This is where Pikachu gets involved, firing a Thunder Shock that quickly diffuses the situation, leaving everyone on the floor twitching and singed. While the tussle is over, all the commotion captures the attention of everyone in the center, mainly Brock and Misty. The two rush over, helping their friend and separating the group to find out what happened. Quickly, it becomes apparent what the problem is. Damien is the trainer that abandoned Charmander, our hero screams, which causes everyone to focus on Damien. While the boy is a bit nervous, he quickly regains his composure, confirming that he is so what? Trainers release Pokemon all the time. This was no different. "No, you lied to Charmander, telling that you would come back, causing it to get sick." However, Damien simply states that he has no idea what Ash is talking about. He was just talking with his friends, and Ash attacked him. This causes Ash to reach a boiling point as he begins to rush the despicable boy once more, but he is quickly stopped by Brock, who tells Ash that this isn't the place for this. Charmander is still sick, and it needs their support. "Maybe it's best if you leave," Brock says. "I may not be able to hold him back much longer." Dusting himself off, Damien collects his Pokeballs and Primeape, telling Brock that he's a weak gym leader for keeping such a loser as a traveling companion. He then walks off, with Ash yelling at Brock, asking why he interfered. He could have taken Damien, but Brock quickly gives Ash a harsh reality check, telling the boy that this isn't the place for that. "You were outnumbered. Well, I could have beaten him in battle. That would have shown him that he was wrong." "No, you're wrong," Brock yells. "He would have beaten you and any one of your Pokemon to a pulp. You didn't notice his badge case on the table, did you? Damien already has 4 badges to your 1. The best you got is Pikachu and Butterfree. The rest of the Pokemon are all untrained and have some mental barriers they need to get past before they'll be able to have any type of battles. Face it, Ash, he had at least a team of 6, while the best you have is 2 Pokemon. There's no way you would win." This causes the boy to grow silent. "Well, how do I beat him then?" he asks. "Simply be a better person, a better trainer. Develop yourself, Pokemon, and skills to reach new heights. Never stop growing. If you do that, you will always win, even when you lose." Guys, I hate to break up the bro moment, but Nurse Joy is out, and she's asking for you, Ash," Misty interrupts. Pulling himself up, Ash says nothing, going to check on his newest capture with Pikachu in tow, leaving both Misty and Brock to wonder if he's going to be alright. The nurse tells Ash that Charmander is really weak, but if it can make it through the night, then it will have a chance. "Can I go and sit with it?" Ash questions. Seeing the look of genuine care in his eyes, Nurse Joy tells the boy that he can, but not to wake it. Charmander needs its rest. Arriving in the room, Ash and Pikachu sit at Charmander's bedside, waiting for it to wake up. Morning eventually comes, with the sunlight creeping through the window. Here we see the sight of Ash and Pikachu sleeping on the edge of the bed, when the fire type begins to stir. Sitting up, Charmander is a bit confused about the situation. The last thing it remembers is the rain, but this place isn't the cave that it was told to stay by, so the fire lizard struggles off the bed, awakening Pikachu in the process. As Charmander makes its way to the door, the mouse begins to nuzzle Ash, trying to wake up its trainer. However, the boy is fast asleep, and Charmander is out the door. Realizing the mouse needs to do something, a Thunder Shock zaps the boy to attention, causing him to scowl at his starter, only for Pikachu to point out that Charmander is gone. Knowing it shouldn't be up and moving, Ash runs out the door to catch it, but our hero doesn't have to go far, as Charmander is standing there, looking at its trainer. "Oh no, the weakling again. Well, I guess the Meowth is out of the bag," he says. "You heard that right, Charmander. I never did plan to come back for such a weak Pokemon," Damien says to the fire starter. A look of pure heartbreak descends across Charmander's face, as the one one human in the world that it would do anything for turns and walks out of the Pokemon Center. The shock of the situation causes the lizard to collapse. Ash begins to clench his fists and grind his teeth, only for Brock to walk up, slowly shaking his head. They need to tend to Charmander. Nurse Joy rushes to the side as the last thing it sees is Ash saying, "Don't worry, I won't leave you, Charmander." Over the next few days, Charmander is watched intensely. It can hear echoes of people around it. No one sounds familiar except for the boy that said it wouldn't leave it and the nice lady with the pink hair. She is telling the boy that Charmander is in bad shape. The flame on its tail is almost out, and she can only keep it lit by artificial means for so long. It's all up to it now. If it wants to live, then it will pull through. But after what you told me about its trainer, it will need a reason to continue on. Well, is there anything I can do, Nurse Joy? Just talk to it. Let it know that it's not alone. The voices then trail off as Charmander then finds itself back in the place where Damien left it, the rain. It's the first night it was alone, then the second night, then 3 more. Charmander is growing weak. Then that voice. It's the boy. Charmander can't move or acknowledge him, but that boy, he's staying with me, the lizard thinks. Who is this human? Why would he show any care for a weakling like me? Then Damien and the things he said to Charmander. The fire type begins to spiral in an abyss of darkness and fear of not being strong enough, but it can hear something echoing in the void. It's faint, but that voice, the boy who saved it, he's calling to Charmander. Slowly, it gets louder and louder and louder until nothing. Suddenly, Charmander shoots up in bed, only to find the boy sitting there with the mouse. Ash is asleep, but he's sleep-talking, telling Charmander that it has to come back. He knows it is strong, and he believes in it. Realizing that everything he experienced wasn't a dream, Charmander looks out the window to the night sky, thinking about its future in this vast world. When morning rolls around, Ash finally wakes up to see Charmander and Pikachu playing. The boy smiles as Pikachu jumps onto the bed, greeting its trainer. Ash then walks over to Charmander kneeling down. He then raises a hand that causes the fire type to flinch, only for Ash to place his hand on its head, saying he's glad that it pulled through. Charmander is confused by this whole thing. Ash isn't mad about what it put him through. The boy then tells Charmander that he knows he didn't want to go with him, but he had to capture it to get it help. However, if it wishes, Ash will then release it, so it can go its own separate way. Again, the lizard is stunned, as this human is only trying to do what's best for it, not him. This is where Misty and Brock come into the room and begin talking with Ash. Charmander just watches their exchange, as Ash tells them he plans to challenge the gym. Misty scolds Ash for not being prepared. None of his Pokemon have battled in a week, so they are rusty, but Ash tells her it doesn't matter. With his Pokemon, nothing will stop him from getting the second badge. Pikachu confirms this, sparking with excitement at this thought. Charmander doesn't understand. Its battle with the human they call Brock, it lost really quickly, and all Damien would do is yell at it and put it down. However, although these two disapprove of this battle, they support his decision. Ash then asks Charmander if it wants to come with him. It doesn't have to make up its choice to stay with Ash and his Pokemon, but some fresh air may do it some good. The fire type nods, out of pure curiosity of this whole situation. So with the lizard in tow, our heroes set off to the gym. Meanwhile, at the Vermilion Gym, a very familiar trio of dunderheads has begun lurking around it. They are looking for a way inside, as this is where the boss was supposed to be. Jessi is furious that it took them so long to track down Giovanni. He wouldn't take any of their calls, and when they first got into town, he wasn't even here, but instead off handling business in Saffron City. But finally, he's back, and he has a meeting with the leader of this gym. All of the time they have wasted has caused the redhead to seethe with anger, as the revelation that they were used for bait for the pewter job is still fresh in her mind. James, on the other hand, is just fed up with sleeping outside and not being fed. Jessi is wearing on his last nerve, and he has been very vocal about this. Meowth, on the other hand, is beginning to freak out. The Scratch Cat was charged with watching these humans, and at every turn they have failed to fall in line. It's going to get canned. Meowth can feel it in the whiskers on the feline's face. However, the group is unable to get into the gym. It is locked up tight, so they resort to going in through the roof. As they didn't take a direct way in, the trio find themselves crawling around the air ducts, trying to find some sort of vent to crawl out of. However, they end up stuck just above the battlefield and begin to argue, but it's quickly subdued when they hear the voice of the boss and someone that sounds familiar, but James can't quite put his finger on it. The trio listens intently as the conversation becomes escalated. Down on the gym floor, the big burly gym leader, who is referred to as Surge, tells Giovanni that he has no power here, so the champion should leave. However, Gio isn't one for intimidation tactics, merely reminding Surge of where he came from. Do you remember who erased your your questionable actions after the war. All those poor people you were less than understanding of, that were never the same after meeting you. The lives you ruined. That was long ago, Serge says with anger in his voice. I'm not that person anymore. Oh, I know that, but others may not be so understanding. When you came home, you were a hero. The people loved you, but let's not forget who suppressed the information about your actions in Alola, and who built this gym for you, gave you a new life, a fresh start. Remember, I can take it away as easily as it was given. This triggers Serge as he begins to attack Giovanni. You won't ruin what I've built, he yells, but Gio just smirks, releasing a Pokemon that Jessi and James have never seen before, but Meowth confirms is a Kangaskhan that charges Serge, slamming the behemoth of a man into the gym wall with a very sinister look in its eyes. You see, I didn't want this. I merely just came here to ask for a favor from an old friend, and now you have forced me to use a means that I find deplorable. Realizing he has no choice at this point, Serge relents, telling Gio fine, but after this, he's out for good. Gio hands Serge a file, telling him that one of their experiments escaped from one of the labs the other day, and since it's an electric type, who better than you to track it down? Opening the file, wait, you actually? Yes, we did, Gio says, and that bird is the property of Team Rocket. After all, I paid for its creation. Track it down and bring it to me. I will need a crew, something small, maybe 3 members. Oh, I have just the trio for you, Gio says with a sinister chuckle. He pulls out his phone to ring Matori, but as she picks up, a cracking can be heard in the roof of the gym as an air vent from above Gio and Serge comes crashing down to the ground. Sir, are you okay? Matori asks over the phone. Never mind, Giovanni says with irritation, hanging up. It looks like the incompetents are here now. Looking at the mangled debris and the trio of losers, Gio says these 3 will provide the support you need. Then he turns, telling his Mon to release Serge, as he has a job to do. However, just before Giovanni walks outside of the gym, he reminds the leader that no one ever leaves Team Rocket, as the door closes behind him. Outside, the Kanto champion is met with an odd sight. Ash and his friends stand before him. While this guy seems familiar to Ash, he can't really place it. However, Pikachu is having a serious case of deja vu, as this Kangaskhan reminds the mouse of someone it used to know. While Ash and Pikachu are having trouble, Misty and Brock know exactly who this is. Champion Giovanni, sir. It's good to see you. Always playing the part, the top trainer of Kanto looks the two over and instantly remembers who Brock is. So you've left the gym, have you? Yes, sir. My father took over the gym so I could travel with my friends. Giovanni begins to say something, but stops when Ash interrupts, saying, I remember you. Your son went missing, did he? Both Misty and Brock can't believe that Ash would bring up that, as the champion's son has still yet to be found. Ash, Misty yells, you don't just bring stuff up like that. However, Gio stops the redhead, saying it's okay. Yes, his son did go missing, and to date has yet to be found, but I have all the confidence in the authorities that they will safely recover him. Gio then takes a good look at the boy. You were there that day. I saw you looking through the window with the Oak Boy. Yes, I was, Ash says. Well, I'm glad that you started out on your own journey. Hopefully one day my son will be able to do the same. So, I take it you're here to challenge for a badge then? Yes, Ash says. My second one. Well, you better hurry. Serge mentioned that he's going to be closing the gym for a while, so you may be out of time. No, Ash says, running inside with Charmander and Pikachu in tow, only for the mouse to give one last glance at Kangaskhan as it runs by. Well, you must excuse me. I'm due back in Saffron City. Giovanni then departs, leaving Misty and Brock to run inside after Ash. Once in the gym, they catch the tail end of the cleaning of the battlefield as Serge is telling Ash that he doesn't have time for a battle. He's leaving and won't be back for a while, but Ash won't hear it, telling the gym leader that he has been challenged so he can't refuse it. It's the league rules. With a sigh, Serge turns, looking at Ash and his Pikachu. Listen, kid, I don't have time to battle a baby right now. I don't exactly have a good history for looking after babies, so come back when you and your pipsqueak of a Pokemon have evolved. This comment gets to Ash. No one talks to him or his Pokemon like that. Misty and Brock arrive inside just as Ash tells Serge that if he doesn't battle, then he will report him and the gym will get shut down. Serge sighs once more. Man, what is it with all the blackmail today? Fine, kid, you want to battle? Don't say I didn't warn you. It will be a one-on-one. First one to faint will lose. Fine, Ash says. I choose Pikachu. The mouse steps forward as Charmander watches, amazed by the confidence Ash has in it. Serge walks to his end of the battlefield, telling Ash that this will be quick, while everyone watches intensely. As Pikachu watches, Serge's choice becomes known quick as a ball pops, revealing the evolution to the electric mouse, Raichu. Using his Pokédex, Ash learns all that he can about the Pokemon, while Serge explains that this is the reason why Ash is a baby. He uses baby baby Pokemon. You should have evolved your Pikachu as soon as you got it. That's what I did, and Raichu saved my skin many times during the war because of it. Well, there's more to strength than just evolving, Ash says, but Surge only laughs. Listen, baby, let's get this done. I ain't got all day. Now both Ash and Pikachu are frustrated. The mouse sparks as Ash orders an Iron Tail. Oh, that's cute. Raichu, you know the drill. The evolution counters with its own Iron Tail, driving Pikachu into the gym floor. The hit was enough to cause the mouse to get woozy. Well, it looks like what I said is coming true. Raichu ended with the body slam. The Thunder Mouse then drops its whole body on Pikachu, driving it back down and bringing the battle to a close. Ash is in a stunned silence, as is the rest in attendance. He lost in just 2 moves. Surge eventually grows tired of this and tells Ash that he should have listened. Now leave the gym. I have to pack. Ash walks out to the now unconscious mouse, picking it up and walks out. Charmander follows, curious as to how Ash is going to react to this loss, as it's reminded of the battle that it had with Brock. Ash says nothing as they walk back to the Pokemon Center. Once they arrive, Nurse Joy looks over Pikachu. Ash sits silent in the waiting room. Well, I told you, Ash, you needed some training. You shouldn't have run off half-cocked like that. I know, he yells, but now isn't the time, Misty. I just need to make sure Pikachu's okay. Charmander watches this exchange. Ash is genuinely hurt that Pikachu is hurt. The fire lizard can feel the young boy's emotions. They are not that of anger, but guilt for the harm that he caused his Pokemon. The starter puts a claw on Ash's knee, then a simple char to make Ash feel better. The boy rubs its head, telling it thanks. It's here that Joy comes out, telling Ash that Pikachu will be fine by morning. The bruises it has are superficial. Considering you battled Surge, your Pikachu is in pretty good condition. Most of the trainers that end up here spend days waiting for their Pokemon to recover. Ash tells the nurse thanks, but he needs to think about the rematch now. He needs to come up with a way to beat Surge and get more power. Nurse Joy tells him that she may have a solution to this problem. Pulling out a stone, she says she got this a few years back from her cousin in Celadon City. It's a stone that's used to evolve Pikachus. You could use it and gain the power needed to win. Ash picks up the stone, giving it a good look over. This can't be my decision. It has to be Pikachu's, he says, surprising Charmander even more. We will wait till it's better, and then I will ask it. The next morning, Pikachu wakes up fully healed from the battle. Ash is sitting there with Charmander holding the stone. Our hero explains what is going on and their options. You could evolve and easily win, Ash says, but the mouse is having none of this, as it uses an Iron Tail to smash the stone right in front of Ash. It will win as a Pikachu. There is no other option. Ash smiles. Well then, we need to figure out a way to win. This is where Brock comes in. I think I may have an idea, he says. A few hours later, our heroes are back at the gym, only to find it closed. There is a sign on the door. Heading out on vacation on the SS Anne. Don't know when I will return. Surge. Great. He already left, Ash says. Wait, Misty remarks. The SS Anne is a boat that leaves from the Vermilion Harbor today. If we hurry, then we can make it. Then we still have a chance, Ash says excitedly. Let's go. But then he stops. Charmander, Ash says. I told you that if you wanted, I would release you. Ash then pulls out the Pokeball. So, what do you want to do? The fire lizard looks at Ash and Pikachu. With a burst of flames, it taps the ball, accepting Ash as its trainer. Ash smiles, only for Misty and Brock to tell him to hurry, or they will miss the boat. And this is where we are going to leave things for now. So tell me, how did I do on this part? How did you like it? Did you like the arc I created for Charmander better than the one that was in the anime? What did Giovanni assign to Surge? What is Surge hunting? And will Ash be able to get his next badge on the boat? Let me know in the comments down below. Alright trainers, I hope you have your Pokédexes ready, because the Pokemon we met today are Raichu and Primeape. And that's all we had for today's video. I really appreciate you guys stopping by to watch all the way to the end, and I just wanted to say thank you for that. If you guys really enjoy my content, consider following me on some of my other platforms like Discord, where you can get to know other people who are interested in what ifs, or on Twitter, where I post sometimes behind the scenes updates. Or if you want to help the channel grow a little bit extra, why don't you consider donating like the people right here have, as whatever you could offer could help us get to a larger audience by helping us get new videos done, or some of the projects that or custom art is getting kind of expensive. So we want to make sure that we have the funds to do that. But with all that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed everything, and I will see you in the next video.